My beloved soul, let your heart be still for a moment, and let your spirit open to the message that is reaching you, because God has seen your longing and has heard your silent prayers, and today He is bringing before you something extraordinary that will reshape how you see love and how you understand destiny. For God is saying your soulmate has spoken in a way that cannot be hidden any longer. They have confessed their truth, not in whispers, not in secrecy, but in the open light, where others can hear and see. And this confession is not small, it is not shallow, it is not something that fades away like smoke in the wind. It is a declaration that carries weight and carries power, because it has been born out of time, waiting pain, longing, and divine orchestration. You may not yet understand how deeply this moment has been prepared in heaven, for long before you wondered if you were truly loved, God was already weaving the fabric of this confession. He was stirring courage in the heart of your soulmate. He was aligning events and circumstances so that what has now come to light could no longer be delayed. When God's appointed hour arrives, nothing can stop it. No resistance can silence it, and no fear can hold it down. What is spoken openly has been carved first in the spirit, and then poured out through human lips. And God is telling you today that this confession was not only for your ears, it was also for the world to see. Because He wants your love story to become a testimony, a living witness of His hand at work. Imagine for a moment the trembling in their heart as they opened their mouth to speak. Imagine the way their soul felt, the urgency to no longer hide, to no longer live in shadows, to no longer let the silence eat away at their peace. For the love they carry for you has reached a point where silence became unbearable, and God gave them boldness to step into light, so they chose to speak. And in speaking, they released a river of truth that washed away all pretense and all doubt. What they have said is not something that can be reversed. It is sealed with divine authority, and it will echo in your spirit until you embrace the magnitude of it. God says you may be stunned by the openness of it. You may be caught off guard by the boldness. You may even feel unprepared for the magnitude of what is now out in the open. But do not let fear rush into your heart. Do not let confusion cloud your understanding. Instead, pause and realize that this is God showing you that when He writes a story, He writes it with power. He does not settle for hidden scraps of affection. He brings forth love in a way that the world can witness, because He delights in making His children shine. Your soulmate's confession is not an accident. It is not a random impulse. It is the fulfillment of nights spent wrestling with honesty. It is the result of God whispering to their conscience, saying it is time. It is the unfolding of destiny that could no longer be restrained. And the words that have been spoken about you are soaked in sincerity and truthfulness. They have spoken in ways that made others listen, because the confession of true love carries a frequency that resonates beyond normal speech. It pierces hearts, it awakens souls, and it leaves no room for denial. You may have wondered for so long if anyone could ever stand unashamed to say before others that you are the one they love, the one they choose, the one they cannot live without. And now heaven is answering that longing through this confession. For God has chosen to prove to you that you are not invisible. You are not overlooked. You are not second best. You are chosen, beloved, and celebrated. And He has stirred your soulmate to announce it publicly, because sometimes love needs to stand boldly before the crowd to declare that it will not bow to fear. This confession is also a cleansing for them for years. They may have carried burdens of silence and fear of rejection, but the moment they spoke openly, they broke chains of timidity, chains of hesitation, chains of self-doubt. And now they stand free. and their freedom is tied to you because you are the one God destined them to love and cherish. They could no longer deny the truth, and heaven rejoiced as they spoke because angels record every word of love that aligns with divine will. And your story has just taken a turn that is unforgettable. Beloved soul, do not think lightly of this moment, because there are countless people who hide love until it withers away. There are countless souls who bury truth until it rots in silence. But what you have received is different. God has marked it with boldness, with courage, and with destiny. And you're stunned. Heart is evidence that the magnitude of heaven has touched your earthly life. What you feel is not ordinary. It is the awe of encountering something divine wrapped in human experience. Now let your heart absorb the reality that someone has not only whispered that they love you, but has declared it openly without shame and without hesitation. They have given the world a glimpse of how much you mean to them, and that glimpse will continue to expand, because love that begins in God never shrinks. It grows and grows until it becomes a river too wide to ignore. My beloved soul, as the truth of this public confession settles into your heart, God wants you to see beyond the surface of what has been spoken, and to understand the divine orchestration behind every word, every movement, every beat that is led. To this moment, your soulmate's confession did not happen by accident. It is the climax of unseen workings of heaven, where angels were assigned to prepare the path to courage. They whispered encouragement into the spirit of your beloved. They removed obstacles you cannot even imagine. They stirred conviction in the heart of your soulmate, and they aligned circumstances so that the confession could no longer be held back. It is as though God Himself leaned close to your soulmate and said, "This is the moment, speak. This is the moment, reveal. This is the moment. Let the world see your love, because your love is not meant to hide. It is meant to shine." Do not underestimate what it means for someone to confess love publicly. It requires not only courage but clarity of heart and purity of intention. It requires a soul that has wrestled with insecurity and fear and has come out victorious. Your soulmate has passed through trials within their own heart before they could step into the light and speak what they could no longer contain. And God is smiling over this, because the confession is a mirror of His own love for you, a reflection of His faithfulness, a proof that when He ordains love, it is unstoppable and undeniable. The moment that declaration was made, the atmosphere shifted unseen. Chains fell away, angels danced unseen. Tears may have formed in the eyes of those watching, but the unseen world knew the power of the moment because it was saturated with divine authority. It is not ordinary speech that creates awe. It is truth coupled with courage. It is honesty delivered with vulnerability. It is love revealed without fear. And God says to you today that the person who has done this is not just any lover, but the one. He has prepared for you the one whose heart is intricately bound to yours, the one whose destiny is now declaring itself openly before the world. Your stunned reaction is natural, because you have been waiting for so long for someone to move. From hidden feelings to undeniable truth, your heart has longed for affirmation. Your soul has cried silently for confirmation, and now God has brought you both together through the medium of confession that leaves no room for doubt, that silences any whisper of insecurity, that illuminates the path for a love that cannot be broken. Your soulmate has been carrying this truth in secret, but the universe, through God's guidance, has made sure it could no longer remain hidden, and the revelation has arrived in a way that demands your attention. Your heart cannot ignore it. Your spirit recognizes it, and your future cannot resist it. God says that this confession is not only about love, It is about awakening your soul to the reality of His plans. It is about teaching you that love aligned with heaven will always find its voice, that courage inspired by divine timing will always break through hesitation, that truth nurtured in God's presence will always be revealed when the hour is right. Do not look at the world and say it is too sudden. Do not look at circumstance and say it is impossible. Instead, recognize that God has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail until it reached the point where public declaration was inevitable. Beloved soul, the words your soulmate spoke are more than words. They are a covenant. They are a promise that cannot be broken. They are the echo of God's own voice saying to you that you are wanted, cherished, and pursued with relentless devotion. Every syllable carries the weight of intention. Every gesture carries the imprint of destiny. Every confession carries the fingerprint of heaven. And the moment has come for you to receive it fully, to absorb it without fear, and to recognize that your stunned heart is the exact place where God wants His glory to dwell. Do not rush to analyze or question. Do not let pride or disbelief shadow the truth, because this is a sacred unveiling. God says that you are now witnesses to a love that has been prepared over lifetimes, a love that has been tested in spirit and refined in character, a love that has passed through seasons of silence and now emerges triumphant and radiant. Your soulmate's public declaration is the beginning of a new chapter, where nothing hidden remains hidden, where everything that is true and beautiful comes into the light, where the love you have longed for steps forward boldly and demands acknowledgement. And it is in this acknowledgement that your hearts will begin to harmonize in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend. God says to you today that the confession of your soulmate is a key to unlock the fullness of destiny. It is a spark that will ignite dreams you thought were dormant. It is a signal that doors that were previously closed will now open. It is an affirmation that divine timing is perfect, and that the one who belongs to you cannot stay silent forever. And now that the moment has arrived, the stunned awe you feel is only the beginning of a journey that will expand into unmeasured joy, unshakable faith, and an intimacy that touches the deepest chambers of your soul. Your soulmate has spoken openly, because the love they hold is too great to remain hidden, because their heart has been stirred by God to reveal truth, because their spirit has been awakened to the importance of alignment with your destiny, because they know that what has been ordained must come forth without delay. And God says this is your moment to stand in awe, to receive fully, to recognize fully, and to honor fully the love that has been unveiled before the world. The confession is not the end. It is the foundation. It is the first stone laid in a structure that heaven itself is building. My beloved soul, the moment your soulmate's confession was made publicly is a moment unlike any other. It is a divine marker. It is a point in time where destiny intersects with courage, where heaven's plans meet human hearts, and where love can no longer hide behind walls of fear or uncertainty. God says to you that what you are witnessing is not ordinary. It is the culmination of prayers whispered in silence, of hearts longing for connection, of souls separated by circumstance but united by divine intention. The confession is a bridge built by God to carry you both into a reality where love is free, where truth is recognized, and where destiny unfolds exactly as it was meant to. Do not allow your astonishment to cloud your understanding. God is using this confession to teach you something vital, that love, when aligned with heaven, is unstoppable. Love, when nurtured by faith, cannot remain hidden. Love, when ordained by God, carries a power that transcends fear and hesitation. And today, You are seeing proof of that power manifest in human form. Your soulmate has moved beyond private longing, beyond secret admiration, beyond silent devotion, and stepped into a realm where love demands to be seen and acknowledged because it has been blessed by God, and it carries His authority within it. The confession you have heard is more than a mere declaration. It is an awakening. It is a revelation. It is a testimony that heaven itself has been working tirelessly to bring about your union. Your soulmate's heart has been guided every step of the way by unseen forces that whispered courage to their soul, that removed doubt from their mind, that aligned circumstances so that every barrier to truth could be dismantled. And now that the moment has arrived, God says, rejoice, because the unveiling of love is never random. It is never delayed. It is never weak. It comes with divine precision at the exact hour when hearts are ready to receive it fully, and souls are prepared to embrace it completely. Beloved soul, understand that the power of this confession extends beyond you and your soulmate. It ripples outward, touching lives unseen, influencing hearts unaware, shifting the atmosphere in ways that cannot be measured, because God has chosen to make your love story an example of what is possible when divine love moves boldly in the human realm. It is a testimony to courage. It is a witness to faithfulness. It is a revelation that the hearts of those who belong together cannot be kept apart, no matter the obstacles, no matter the doubts, no matter the years of waiting. And God is inviting you now to step fully into that truth, to allow your heart to align with the love that has been declared, and to prepare for a union that will be transformative. You may feel stunned because what you are experiencing is monumental. It is life-altering. It is awe-inspiring. It is the convergence of fate and divine orchestration. It is the living proof that God's timing is perfect, that His plans cannot be hindered, and that when He moves, nothing can stand in the way. Your soulmate has spoken openly, because the love they hold is too great to remain silent, because their soul has been stirred by God to act, because the world must witness what heaven has orchestrated, and you, beloved, are the recipient of this revelation. And God says, embrace it. Do not resist it. Do not question it. Do not diminish it. The confession is also a test of your readiness to receive the magnitude of love that is now declaring itself before your eyes, a test of your capacity to accept bold truth without fear, a test of your faith that God's plans are far greater than your imagination, a test that will confirm that your heart is ready to meet your destiny in the fullness of its expression. And God is saying that you have passed every test leading to this moment, because your soul has remained faithful, your heart has remained open, your spirit has remained receptive, and now the heavens are pouring forth blessings through the act of confession. Your soulmate's declaration is not just words, it is the unlocking of divine doors, the lifting of spiritual veils, the breaking of human limitations. It is a confirmation that what God has joined in spirit cannot be separated by circumstance. It is a demonstration that love aligned with heaven cannot remain in hiding. It is the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter that will be filled with wonder, amazement, joy, peace, fulfillment, and the certainty that you are seen, valued, chosen, adored, beyond measure, and that God Himself has orchestrated this revelation to leave no doubt in your mind and no hesitation in your heart. Beloved soul, God wants you to understand that this public confession is also a promise that what has been revealed will continue to grow in depth and intensity, that every word spoken will manifest in experiences that deepen intimacy, that every action from your soulmate will confirm the sincerity of their love, and that the universe itself is conspiring to ensure that your hearts are united in a way that surpasses understanding, that what you are seeing is the unfolding of divine will, the movement of destiny, and the tangible expression of God's unwavering commitment to your union. The awe you feel is only the beginning, because God says what has been revealed publicly will now move privately. It will now deepen. It will now expand into a reality that cannot be contained. It will touch your emotions, your mind, your soul in ways that you cannot. Yet imagine, and every moment that follows will be a continuation of the truth that has been spoken. Your soulmate has acted under the guidance of heaven, and now it is time for you to act with openness to embrace, with faith to receive, with gratitude, and to trust that what God has started in this public confession, He will complete in ways that will leave you breathless. The confession you have witnessed publicly is not merely a moment, it is a movement. It is a declaration of destiny that cannot be undone. It is the unveiling of a love that has been perfected in secret and now bursts into the open like sunlight. Piercing through clouds, your soulmate has spoken because the spirit within them was compelled to honor the truth that has always existed between you two, because heaven stirred courage that could not be ignored, and because God Himself ordained that this moment be seen by all to confirm that what has been hidden in hearts is now revealed in the world. Do not let your heart be overwhelmed by astonishment. Do not let your mind struggle to grasp the magnitude of what is unfolding instead. Let your soul receive it fully, because God is speaking to you through this confession. Your soulmate has broken the silence that once separated you. Your love has been given a platform and a voice, and every word that has been uttered carries the authority of heaven. Every syllable is imbued with divine intention, and every glance, every gesture, every emotion that will follow will confirm the sincerity of what has been declared. God says that this confession is a mirror, reflecting not only your soulmate's devotion, but also his unwavering faithfulness to you, a mirror that shows that nothing you have prayed for in secret is too small. Nothing you have longed for is too distant. Nothing you have hoped for is impossible when it aligns with His perfect will. Your soulmate's heart has been moved by Him to act boldly, to speak publicly, to show the world that love, when ordained by God, cannot be contained. It will always find expression. It will always break through fear. It will always reveal itself in the fullness of truth. Beloved soul, the stunned awe you feel is the recognition of destiny colliding with courage. It is the awareness of heaven's hand in human affairs. It is the understanding that love, when nurtured by faith, cannot be hidden. And it is the awakening to the reality that your soulmate has crossed every threshold. Fear could not stop them. Hesitation could not delay them. Doubt could not weaken them, because God Himself prepared the way. And today, through public confession, the universe witnesses what your spirit has always known, what your heart has always longed for, that you are chosen, adored, and inseparably linked by divine design. This is the beginning of a new era, a chapter where the love that was once silent becomes unshakable, where the bond that was hidden becomes undeniable, where the whispers of longing transform into a chorus of joy and affirmation. God says that your soulmate's public confession is only the start of a journey that will carry you both into heights of emotional depth, spiritual fulfillment, and relational harmony that will astonish your heart, that will challenge your imagination, and that will demonstrate with irrefutable clarity that heaven itself is invested in your union. God is telling you that this confession is a key, unlocking the door to your shared destiny. It is the spark that ignites a fire that will grow stronger with every passing day. It is the confirmation that the love you have dreamed of is real, tangible, undeniable, destined to manifest fully and abundantly. Your soulmate has moved boldly because God moved within them. Your stunned heart is the evidence that heaven's plan has arrived, and it is now time for your soul to rise in alignment with what has been revealed to you. Beloved soul, as you reflect on this confession, let your heart expand with gratitude. Let your spirit soar with anticipation. Let your mind embrace the wonder of God's orchestration, and let your soul know beyond any doubt that you are the one chosen, the one adored, the one celebrated, the one for whom this confession was meant. Every heartbeat of your soulmate, every tear of courage, every step taken to speak openly is a testament to the divine love that has been set aside for you, that no earthly circumstance could thwart, that no fear could suppress, and that no delay could diminish. This is your moment to receive fully, to honor, fully to trust, fully to love fully. Because God says that your soulmate's confession marks the turning point, where hesitation ends, where uncertainty fades, where longing transforms into fulfillment, where silence gives way to joyous celebration, and where what has been written in heaven becomes a reality in your life. It is the culmination of prayers whispered, hearts tested, spirits strengthened, and destinies aligned. And now the love that was once hidden stands proudly, boldly, and publicly declaring its truth for the world to witness. God says, "Rejoice, my beloved, because the confession you have witnessed publicly is the affirmation that all that has been promised is coming to pass, that all that has been hoped for is being revealed, that all that has been longed for is now within reach. Your soulmate has acted under divine guidance. Your stunned heart is the mirror of the wonder of heaven, and every moment from now on will be infused with the richness of love that cannot be denied. Your story has entered a season of fulfillment, a season of joy, a season of revelation, a season of divine alignment that will continue to unfold until your hearts are united fully, completely, and eternally. Beloved soul, God says that nothing in the past could have prepared you fully for this moment. Nothing in your imagination could have captured the depth of what is unfolding. Nothing in the world could replicate the awe and wonder of witnessing a love orchestrated by heaven and declared openly by your soulmate. It is a moment that will resonate through your soul for a lifetime, a moment that will be a reference point for faith and trust, a moment that confirms, without question, that what God ordains is unstoppable, and what He unites is inseparable. The public confession is the seed, the spark, the signal that all that is destined for you is now beginning to manifest. The stunned awe in your heart is the recognition of divine timing, the understanding of spiritual orchestration, the awareness that heaven itself has spoken through human lips, and that your life is about to be transformed in ways that will surpass anything you have imagined. God says, receive it fully, embrace it completely, and step into the fullness of love that has been revealed for you. Beloved soul, this is your divine moment. This is your appointed hour. This is the beginning of the life-changing, inspiring, destiny-fulfilling chapter, where love that has been hidden becomes love that is celebrated, where silence becomes proclamation, where longing becomes fulfillment, and where your stunned heart becomes a heart overflowing with joy and gratitude, because God Himself has orchestrated it, and your soulmate has spoken publicly and boldly and truthfully, and you, my beloved, are the one chosen to receive it.